All right, everyone. Welcome into this week's Veterans Awareness Project workshop. This one we will be going over. We're going to be going over the top 10. Basically, we're going to be going over the top 10 different, the most claimed disability claims. So what we're going to do is to make sure people are, aware of it, understand what's going on. Basically, what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to make sure that we can go over them through the CFR. So basically, if you are basically joining in, you are going to be able to see what the top 10 most claimed disability claims were this past year. The numbers and the figures are going to change because the report comes out next month of February that will give you the brand new numbers for this upcoming year. So basically, we'll be able to know and tell, okay, this is what was claimed the most, the top 10 that was claimed the most. So we're going to go off of what was claimed the most in 2024 when they updated the information February of 23. For some reason, it's choppy. I'm not entirely sure why. Excuse me. And I was thinking, maybe I should do like a 15 minutes prior to the 15 minutes prior and start the stream like super early and just have y'all waiting. But then y'all would probably get like some PTSD off of the stuff of just like surfing. So y'all would probably hate me after that. I was like, bro, this dude said 12 and it's 11:30 and I'm here and I'm waiting. Now it's 11:45. I'm still here waiting. It's 12. Oh, there he goes. Like a formation. Just, bring it back for y'all a little bit. But those are things, that's one thing that a lot of people don't they might fail to realize and they might fail to claim. And they might not realize it as well as they should when it comes to it. My camera's like jittery for some reason. I'm not sure why that is. But it's just basically that's one of the things that most people don't cover, and that's the thing that it does affect service members more than service members tend to realize or want to acknowledge. One of the bigger issues is I am streaming on these other platforms, so maybe it might be that I'm not too sure because it is streaming on other platforms at the same time. But at the same time, that's just part of it. Uh, anxiety is something that a lot of veterans don't claim, or they do claim, or they don't know, or they don't mention it because they don't realize that's one of the things. Anxiety is not on the top 10 list right now. It should be, because the thing is that 15 minutes prior to the 15 minutes prior, like I was just mentioning, that's one of those issues that most people don't understand. That is anxiety. That is you're anxious. So when it's like, hey, you have that VA appointment, what are you going to do? Oh shit, I need to go and make sure to do this. I need to go make sure and run, do this, do that, stuff like that. So might do that. Hold on, I might cancel these because this is running. Let's end that. Let's end the resources we're taking up for that. But that's something that most veterans don't understand. When it comes to explaining that stuff, yes, anxiety does stem from PTSD, but it's not always PTSD. So somebody just mentioned that it's anxiety stems from PTSD. So it's not always PTSD that you're dealing with. Sometimes it's just anxiety issues that are caused because of the stuff. And PTSD can be another attachment to PTSD, anxiety. That is always connected. Those two are always connected when it comes to it. But sometimes it is a separate entity when it happens. Why is my stuff like choppy so much? Give me a second. But that's one of the things that those are one of the things that people have. You had 12 years of therapy. So they had 12 years of therapy. So the thing is but a lot of veterans don't go and get that assistance when it comes to anxiety or PTSD, because most people don't tie that into it. PTSD was number 4 on the list. So that's something that most people don't understand. It is traumatic, it is, but anxiety goes differently when it comes to formations. Because if you realize you're driving yourself and getting yourself anxious when you have an appointment, because you're so used to it. I said, "Oh my God, are you talking about the VA?" I was just like, that gives you anxiety within itself, also just dealing with the VA. Because literally, you can go from you have your appointment, right? They always send you a notification, and sometimes it's just like, oh, hey, I need you to be there. Check in 15 minutes prior. So it's like, oh, 15 minutes prior. I'm already used to this 15 minutes prior. This isn't nothing new. Then it becomes well, I know I need to be there earlier if they're saying that, and the 15 minutes to the 15 minutes to the 15 minutes always happens. And most leaders did that, but the thing is if you had squared away people that always got there, you always had that, couple of soldiers. Sometimes shit happened on the road, something happened with the car. So, it happens. But then a lot of people just took it as, nah, we're gonna do this every single time, we're gonna run it consistently. And it's just like, all right, this is kind of excessive. But that's where people need to realize that, and it happens. The 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 big thing is just like you had 2 near death experiences caused by the VMs. See, and that's the other thing. And those are things that people claim that people don't know and don't look into the whole way. Because the thing is I have barely any more to talk about the VA. I hate the VA. They really screwed me up. Zombie medication. See, so that's the thing. When it comes to dealing with the VA, we have issues. The one thing with the VA that a lot of veterans don't acknowledge and don't want to look, the VA is there. They're not the only option. And when I say they're not the only option, I understand that there's issues with people having not having insurance, not having health insurance and stuff like that. What I mean is by other options is we have to start looking at different methods to heal ourselves. We have to start looking at different ways to get better. Because the thing is what does the VA do? The VA is going to push pills. The easiest way to shut us up is, hey, bro, take some of this. Hey, take some of that. Oh, this hurt here. I got something for this. This is starting to hurt. I got something for that too. I remember I saw a committee hearing last year at some point. I can't remember when it was, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was this lady that she was at the committee, and she deals with a lot of things. She was a veteran, and she literally had her purse, and she had medication. And this lady, it looked like, how when clowns have like that infinite bag that they just keep on pulling shit out of the bag? That's what this lady looked like when she was pulling out all the pills that she was being prescribed. Now, one thing that we don't understand and one thing we don't pay attention to, and I know a lot of the VA doctors don't, is that, hey, if you are getting put under all these different medications, some shit ain't gonna go right. Something is gonna conflict. Something is gonna do one thing and then negate another. And that's the thing, is just like we're not paying attention to that. But the thing is as veterans, sometimes the easiest way, like shit, if we're always in pain, the easiest way is to get that medication. But there's other methods of doing it. See, look, I just got another. Rooster says VA got me strung out on opioids for years. It was just like it's the easy button. What did the military do while you were serving? They hit you with the easy button. Hey, we're going to put you on a profile for 2 weeks. And then after that, you should be good to go. Mind you, you just had a dislocated shoulder. And 2 weeks, easy button. Hey, he'll leave us alone. He'll probably suck it up. He'll be good. Here's some pain meds. You should be good. Your ruck and everything, you should be able to do it, no problem. That PT test, solid. And that's how they would do it. And that's the same thing that is happening with the VA. And that's one thing that people aren't realizing that it's just like all this medication does take an effect on us. And the thing is you can also claim that stuff because the thing is it's affecting you. So if you're a zombie, like 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 you mentioned, if if you can't operate machinery, if you can't drive a vehicle, which is machinery, that's still a piece of machinery. It's not like everybody's driving a forklift or everybody's using an excavator or some shit like that or a crane. It's just like a vehicle is an operational piece of equipment that if you are driving it under drowsy conditions or something like that, you put yourself and the life of others in danger. That's a claim that can stop you from working. That's an easier way to go and try to put, you know what? TDIU. It's not going to be a foolproof, but at the same time, your pain level is at the point where you have to take this medication so much that it doesn't allow you to function properly, doesn't allow you to get a job or keep a job because of that. And that's one thing people don't realize and put together. That's something you can put together. Why? Because if you are taking medication that consistently gets you drowsy and you cannot operate, you can't even leave the home. So you guys traveled off before. It was just like it happens. I was at 30%, but at 60, I was at 30%, put at 60%. Then I refused the medication, so they put me at 30%. 10 years have went by now, and I'm lawyered up going for 100. F them. Hey, how's it going, bro? I'm currently stuck at 90%. Welcome in, Sonison. I'm currently stuck at 90%. I have an appointment for my migraines and mental health the end of this month. What do I need to do to file an increase? So I have to ask, when it comes to that, I drove an MRAP. Yeah. You weren't supposed to be, when you're on medication, you ain't supposed to be driving you ain't supposed to be driving anything. And then, yes, that's another point. On TikTok, Silent just said that it kills your organs. It messes up your liver. It leaves lasting effects when you're on medication for that long. You ain't supposed to be on medication for the rest of your life. There has to be alternatives, but we have to start finding those alternatives. And the VA is working on that. But the thing is the VA also isn't going to push that more. Why? Because the money's in the pharmaceutical industry. If I tell you you can drink, you can make yourself a fruit and vegetable cocktail, I bet you the VA ain't going to be like, this is our first option. They're going to be like, well, I got this new medication that just came out. It's not FDA approved yet. It's about to be, though, but I can hook you up with this. And what you going to do? Shit, if it's going to help me, I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. So going back to Son of Sin. So my question to you, you're currently at 90. My question is, whenever anybody says they're stuck at whatever percentage, what actual percentage are you at? What actual percentage? Because you're getting paid at the 90% mark. Are you at 86% or are you at 94%? There's a big difference when that happens there. That's one of the main factors with veterans. We need to be better at knowing what our actual percentage is. Once we know what our actual percentage is, it becomes 10 times easier to be effective. So you're at 89%. So let's do this. I'll show you this. This is the CFR, right? We're going to take you down and we're going to scroll down to where they do the rating schedule. Well, schedule of ratings is part 4, CFR. If you don't know what this is what I need to know, because this is how we're going to go over the top 10 claims. We're going to go and find them in the CFR so you can see the percentages you can get off of them. So it's not okay, I'm getting this, I don't know what I'm getting off of it, so that you know. So you're telling I got med boarded, honorable, and I'm at 30% plus daughter. Okay. Remember, there's a ton of benefits that come once you're doing that. So with Son of Sin, you're at 89%, right? This is 89%. In order to get to that 95 to get you to that 100, He said 800%. What? Some people just be making some weird statements. Um, Yeah, and that's the thing. Most people don't understand at all. That you have to keep making appointments. You have to keep going. You have to keep telling them. You have to be like, hey, I have this issue. I have this. It was like, hey, can I get a referral for this? They're gonna look at you like, what the fuck you need a referral for? I need a referral for this. Cause I've gone, let's say I've gone to physical therapy with y'all guys. It ain't working. The problem, the other thing that people need to understand is just because you are 100% does not mean you are permanent and total. That's another underlying issue. When it comes to the permanent and total, you have to look at what your disability claims are and what your disability is to see if it is static. If it is static, that means that the VA understands it is not going to get better. Because the thing is some people file for certain things, they get the percentage, but the VA understands, hey, look, this is something that we know you are going to get better. Oh, you're saying that you're getting paid at 100%, but your total was like 800%. That's the thing. They don't go over that. But when you're past that point, Aaron, you need to start looking into the SMC, the special monthly compensation. It's not that much more in certain levels, but that's what you have to look into. Because if you're at 100% and you have something like that, you fall into the SMC thing because you have more than one disability that gets you there. So that's something to look at also. I'm trying to get back pay. I have several service related injuries I've proved, but now I'm going through independent doctors. So this is the thing. I was saying, just going from there, you're at 89 to 95. You need 50%. It doesn't show it here. Hold on. Let me see if I got to cut it off. There you go. You need 50% to get there. So we're at 95. We're at 89. And you need to get to 95 to at least get to 100%. What is SMC? SMC is special monthly compensation. So special monthly compensation is when the VA recognizes that you have more disabling stuff past 100%. Sometimes it's loss of limb, eyesight, loss of certain body parts. If you're homebound, if you need aid in attendance, if you need assistance, that goes into special monthly compensation, which is a different tier. Loss of kidney, you may fall on, I have to check. Because the thing is, you got two of them. If you lost one, you still got another. But it's still a loss of an organ. So that might put you at that if it was caused by the military. So that's the thing. They can take your claim away, but mine only gets worse. Lol, they took mine away for refusing medicine. Now I know I take it whether you ingest it or not. The thing is that's the loss of use of your private part or erectile dysfunction. That's a claim also, but that falls into SMCK. So that falls into that. So you can use that, and that's a claim that most veterans do. Look, if you are on a shitload of medication, you are filing erectile dysfunction. I don't give a fuck what it is. File for erectile dysfunction. Because the thing is 9 times out of 10, that shit is going to be approved. Why? There's no testing for it. It's not like they're going to tell you, hey, I need you to, stiffen up real quick and I need you to see if it works. They're not going to do that. I believe you only get that over 50%, right? No, that you can get at any point, because the thing is you got to remember that when it comes to that, a lot of the times it's caused by the damn cocktail of medication that you get. So everything doesn't function the same. Some things start functioning less than others. Some like sometimes your organs start doing differently, your muscles start working differently, and that's all because of medication. That's why most of the time, if you look at it, everybody says that. I'm just telling you, they're not gonna do that. They're not gonna tell you to. They're not gonna tell you. You're not gonna go to a CMP examiner. It's just like, hey man, I need you to stand at attention to see if you got erectile dysfunction or not. It's not gonna happen because there's no way of proving it. But the thing is they understand with all that medication that you have, it was just like side effects. Look at the side effects. When you get any medication, go and look at the side effects. Look at what is causing what. Was going to appeal for the military retirement, but I'm taking my severance and 100% VAP. Look, if you can look, Aloe, I have somebody else. I just have somebody else that's on there that just got and they're fighting for it. They're if you know you have the ability to get that over 30% from the retirement, fucking fight for it. It's the easy, like I said, easy button. It's the easy button for the military and for the your Peblo and all that stuff to not put everything and leave you at 20 so you don't get that retirement pay also. That's a big difference if you can collect both at the same time or just one at the time. The percentage of ED is you don't get is just service connected. But it falls under SMCK, which is the special monthly compensation because of loss of use of organ. And that I believe it's $136 a month that gets added on to your whatever your claim is. So whatever you're getting paid at, $136 on top of it because of erectile dysfunction. Yeah, see? So, damn, they went farther for you than they did for me, Aloe. I definitely claims ED low. She touched it to see if it was a loss of testicle. Because the thing is you have to look at that also. It could be caused, like I said, it's the medication. If you are dealing with blood pressure medication, the blood pressure medication is to make sure this is pumping correctly, not that pumping correctly. So that causes it. If you are on any kind of blood pressure medication, you file for ED, they're already gonna tie it in. Boom. That's an easy check off. That's an extra $136 you just made a month. Easy. Rudy Perez, thank you for subbing. If y'all like the information, please make sure to sub, make sure to like the stream, pass it along to other people. We do this every Sunday. We have our veteran affairs, our veteran awareness project website that we are basically implementing, and we're putting all this information and stuff like that so it's free for veterans. There's no charge to any of this. If you got questions you want to answer, I'm gonna get you an answer. I'm gonna show you where it is on the CFR or wherever it needs to, on a .gov site, on a VA site, and I'm gonna get you an answer. I'm not gonna say I can get you every answer and give you the perfect correct answer. I don't make those promises. What I will do is I will show you where you need to go to find more resources and more information so you are better aware and you better understand how to take care of yourself. Because if I was doing this and I was charging people, then I would make sure to do it. But I don't charge people. This is just basically something I do because I'm a veteran. I dealt with this. I dealt with the problem of not being able to know this information, and the more I see, the more I talk to veterans, it's more veterans that don't know what is going on with the veteran realm. Most people don't know this information. Came down my algorithm just in time while all this is fresh on my mind. Doing the Lord's work because my MEB has been going on for 9 months. Now I'm inspired to help others too. I appreciate that. And Aloe, that's the thing. That's why I want to do this, because the thing is as veterans, we can help assist each other. Because the thing is just like, hey, I have this experience. This is what I went through. This is what I didn't know. So if I know I don't know it, I know there's thousands of veterans that didn't know it. So it's just like, if I can assist a veteran one day at a time, it's still assisting a veteran a day at a time, which means now that veteran is more knowledgeable. So now when they know they have a buddy or another veteran that's going through stuff, may be hesitant to file a disability claim, doesn't know where to start, doesn't know where to look. Now you have a resource because you learned it. Now they have a resource. Now, once they learn that, they might know a buddy. It's like we all know each other. We're all, if you look at it one way or another, within service, you are connected to somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. I'm 100% P&T. I'm 100% P&T. That's why it's just like I went through it. I was at 92, I think. I was at 92% when I first filed with the BDD program. So I went through the benefits delivery by discharge program. I did that. I ended up with 90 something. I swore I was going to be at 100. I was just like, yes, I'm going to get out. I'm going to be at 100 and not worry about it. And some shit just got jacked up, which led me to learn a bunch of other stuff because I started inquiring, started asking questions. It was just like when it came to, I had an ankle injury that I sprained my ankles, a severe sprain. I went through a year and a half of physical therapy for my ankle. My shit was still denied. And I'm like, how the fuck do y'all miss that? But the thing is when I filed for it, I filed ankle injury, not ankle sprain. So everything was looking for one thing, but then the C&P examiner and the VA rater were looking for another thing. So that alone messed up my thing because people were just like, oh shit, well, he's claiming this, but we only see shit for that. So clearly he don't got this. Just that little thing changed it. So those are things that is just like, I don't know anything. I'm just taking it a day at a time. And that's the thing, CSW. It's just like, I understand a lot of veterans. Yeah, I'm done, permanent and total. I did everything. I got out 2 years ago. I went through the process. I went through the BDD process, which made me do it, allowed me to do it from the 180 days out to 90 days out. I did the process there. I filed all my paperwork and did everything. Got through. I got out of the military, and within the next month, I already had my ratings and I had my stuff. I had what I had, and then there was stuff that is just like, hey, it's your due diligence. And the thing is this is why it's like with all the ratings, this is what we go through. Most of the stuff, I just downloaded the SMC form. Yeah, if y'all go to the vet awareness, I'll show y'all the. Hold on, let me show y'all the site. This is the site. So it's vetawarenessproject.com. You can go onto this site, and from there, I have a resources thing, VA forms. If you need VA forms, it has a listing of all the VA forms. So all you're doing is going through them, figuring out which one you need. You can download it straight off the website, and it's not knowing what it is. At least you can search through there, check it out. Same thing with the DBQs, disability benefit questionnaires. Any one of these you need, it's on there. So if you need something musculoskeletal, it'll take you. You got amputation conditions, ankle conditions, spine, bones, other skeletal, and it'll do it that way. So it's basically a site just for y'all to have reference to. So this is one of the things, bro. Me to accept my leg and hip were basically shattered, and I got 10%. The thing is so this is one thing. Another thing with veterans. Hold on, I just messed on 100% P&T VA, but DoD gave me 20% for my back, 37 claims, 72 50s. Oh, passed through the 100, but my wife is also serving and closer to retirement for TRICARE. At 100%, you get Champ VA. So Champ VA covers a lot too. Champ VA is basically like a secondary insurance. I'm eligible for food since my diet is different. Stuff like that. All those little things are different and you can claim it. But that's why I want to go over the thing. Because look, right now, you're at 30, right? Going through this basically can show us what else we need to do. So like as simple as this, how simple it is, and this how simple I'm gonna show it. So let's say tinnitus, right? Gotta go through here and search tinnitus or tinnitus. I don't know. You know, everybody has their own way of damn saying it. You search for it. schedule ratings of ear. You can click on it this way. So this is the easy way to do it through the CFR. If you want to follow along, if you're like on a PC or something, here's the link. Give me a second. Here's the link to the CFR. If you're on TikTok, it's easier. It's easier to do. I can't really pin it on TikTok because I don't have it connected to it. I do have it on the YouTube. If you go on my link on my profile in my bio on TikTok, you can tune into the YouTube. Just click on the link and it'll show it there because I show the whole video there exactly what I'm doing. On TikTok is just more I can answer questions, but I can't visually show you like I do on thing. Or even I'm on Twitch also doing the same thing. I was on, but that's how it is. So here's the link. Y'all have that. So this is the link. This is the CFR. This is what we're going to go over with. And this is how we're going to show you guys what it is. So basically the workshop is to show you where to find these ratings, how to find these ratings, because each one of these is different. So the top 10 list, what we have is we have tinnitus, we have hearing loss, we have knee and joint conditions, we have PTSD, we have scarring and skin conditions, back and neck pain, sleep apnea, ankle and foot conditions, migraines and headaches, and hypertension. Those are the top 10 most claimed disabilities from veterans. And I can assure you, if you are a veteran, you probably got all these or damn near all of them. You have all of them. So there's no, it's not very hard for veterans to file the stuff. It's just that a lot of the times you don't even think of the shit you're dealing with because you just got so used to sucking up the pain or just dealing with the pain that you didn't even realize it's just like, oh shit, I do got damn back pain, or I do got this, or I got I always got that twitch in my neck, or when I turn too fast, sometimes it feels like my neck is just gonna straight like flip off kind of stuff. Those little things and all that stuff is there. Now, you may not have all of them. Add the 30% one step below sleep apnea from chronic daytime sleepiness. And then that's also the chronic fatigue syndrome, which a lot of people fail to claim. Because the thing is if you're not sleeping well, you're not resting well, you're not breathing well, and your body isn't recovering, you have chronic fatigue syndrome. So you are entirely stuck on it. When I click on profile, just cruise on YouTube. Yes, it should send you to the YouTube link, and then from there it should have it. But I was saying tinnitus. We search for it. Well, that wasn't what it was. We got the 4 results, and we can go schedule of ear. So this is basically schedule of ear rating, which if you go to it, you can just show it up as like that, or it's also, well, it won't show up on the table of contents like this because you search for it. If you're searching specifically for the stuff, it'll give you a listing of where they find it in whatever CFR is within the CFRs. So remember, Code of Federal Regulations, Title 38, Chapter 1, Part 4 is the schedule of ratings for veterans. This has every single claim that you can make. There's over 3,000 different claims that you can make. Over 3,000. Now, of course, you're not going to fit into every single one of them. That's, I would hope not. But 3,000 different claims that you can make. And at the bottom, so I'll show you real quick. I'll go back. Oh, shit. Wrong one. Let's go back to the CFR. What did I do? So we got the link. We go there. You go to the table of contents, and then you look for ear. Impairment of auditory acuity. And then it gives you a whole breakdown of this. This table right here, what I'm showing you guys right now, is for number 2, hearing loss. I'm on my second appeal, and everything you just mentioned are things I've claimed. I was denied for everything except for two things. If you have no service complaints, consider yourself denied. That is not always true because, Alex, you can get Nexus letters. Nexus letters are from an outside provider creating a connection for you because of what you're dealing with. Also, you have your own statements. Most veterans don't know that they can write their own statement talking about the disability claim. So you yourself can write a statement stating, which we can go to the form. Look, I'll show you on the website. I need to put it like back to the top button there. VA forms. Let this load up. Where is it at? Lay witness statement. You could do that, or that's the buddy statement. Statement in support of claim. So that is form 21-4138. You use that, and 95% of veterans do not use their own personal statement to help contribute to their stuff. That's one of the biggest things. Both those personal statements and character statements. Seems like nothing really works for me, Lo, but okay. Now the thing is you have to remember you have to characterize it and how you're doing it. Because the thing is it's putting it, but how much detail are you putting into these statements? How much information are you putting into it? The buddy statements, how well are they detailing the multiple instances? Because you want to make sure it's multiple instances. You want to make sure it's stating, hey, it happened to him here. This one time when we on a deployment and we went on this damn patrol, this happened and this happened and this happened and we were at this location and stuff like that. You be more specific and to the detail, the better it is. Because if you're putting generic information as just like a one-time thing, it's kind of difficult to say, hey, you've been dealing with this. As a buddy, I've seen it happen once. It's kind of hard to, I seen it happen once. You want to make sure you can say, I seen this shit happen multiple times. I'm dealing with it now. Like seeing him now, he has issues with this. He has issues with that. He has problems sometimes, even if it's like marital problems or problems like you snapping or you dealing with your kids in a different way. Cause you know that's something that you need to put. You have to be specific. You have to put as much information as you can to paint that picture for that VA raider to read it and be like, oh, okay. It's not just a one-time occurrence. This has been happening. It's affecting this. It's affecting that. That's how they want to see it. But like I said, sometimes you might have just had the wrong raider. And that shit happens a lot too. Sometimes you get shit out of luck and you got a shit-ass raider and they don't want to go through it and it happens. Some of us for the chat, if you're still in service and going through a med board, don't settle for anything less than 30% on the DOD side. Having that retired blue ID has come in. Yeah, and that's what I tell people. If you can fight to get that 30% from the DOD, do it. I have a friend right now that he's going through the process, that he's on this channel. His name is Dash, Discerning Dash. He's going through the process, but I told him and I explained to him, it's just like, look, if you have all the stuff that you need to get that 30%, fight for that 30%. Yeah, you might have to extend in the military for a couple more months, but that couple more months of you going through that is going to be a whole different lifetime of what you're going to be dealing with afterwards. Everything happened during the service. Do not start talking about when you was a child or this one time in high school. Started in service and it's still a problem now. Like, yeah, and that's what it is. My DAV helped me get. Look, I always say you go to VSOs. Thing is all VSOs ain't great. You also have to do the heavy lifting. You have to do the research. You have to look into it. Like with this, you have to look into hearing loss, which is number 2. Tinnitus is number 1, but this is hearing loss. This is what they go off of the threshold. When you do that damn beep thing that you can hear it when you don't hear it, and you don't hear it when you need to hear it, and you still clicking on the shit, this is where they're going after. This is what they're going off of. This is when they're going to see, okay, this is the level he's at. This is what it is. And then it breaks down diseases of ear. Depending on how much loss of hearing you have, that's where they give you a percentage. And the thing is it's not that crazy. A lot of people need to understand that when it comes to it, you're not going to get 100% off of every disability. Even if the disability is disabling you to the maximum, they will not all give you 100%. I need to file for SSI, for Social Security. That's what I need to work on. That's one thing I've been slacking on. That's one thing I need to work on and file for that. But that's the thing. That's one thing that veterans need to understand. You need to look at this CFR. You need to look at the Code of Federal Regulations. You need to look at the information within it, because this will give you a better outlook as to what you do. Even if it's from when you were a child, once you commit to service, the military accept your health and are responsible for aggravating any condition. So with that is, there are aggravated conditions, but those conditions have to be noted when you enter service. And the thing is you will only get a percentage for the amount it's worsened because of the military. But every issue that you have started in military. Because a lot of the times, a lot of people, what happens is that when they deal with mental health issues like ADHD or ADD or anything like that, what happens is a lot of these C&P examiners try to connect it and say, oh, this was developed in childhood. That negates most of the stuff when it comes to it, because now it's saying, well, the military didn't cause this. You had this while in the military already. We might have made it a bit worse, but since you already had it before, we didn't really cause this. So it's not service connected. And that's where we fall into a problem. If you're not saying, you have to say the stuff happened there. You got sleep apnea. I did my sleep study while I was in service. Rhinitis, sinusitis, anything that may be PACT Act claimed, because them claims is going up crazy. That's why I say these top 10 right now is going to change, because of the fact that with all the PACT Act claims that have been filed, I can tell you sinusitis and rhinitis are probably going to be in the top 10 without a doubt. Because those are the ones that everybody's dealing with. We all deployed. We were all around, stirring it. And we were all in those areas. So our breathing isn't the same anymore. So that's stuff that it's on there. So that's why this list come next month is probably going to look different. Still going to have stuff, but there's a lot more claims to stuff, but it's more PACT Act related. So like I said, with this, it's just use your VA records and it pays more than retirement pay. Said, don't tell them that. Don't tell them more. I'm not sure what you said not to tell them. It was just like, there's claims. You just have to have them. That's what the thing is us as veterans, we are not medical professionals. None of us are. We don't know what the fuck the actual diagnosis is of what we have. If you have a back problem, you don't know what it is. Marvel was denied a couple of ratings, literally submitted the same medical records and got my 100%. Some of them be hating. Also, if you're trying to get a pulmonary function test to see if you have asthma. I have a blood disorder now that I didn't have. And those are all things you have to file and claim, but you have to get a diagnosis for. And that's one of the things people need to understand with that. That's something that you have to pay attention to. We don't know what the hell we're actually diagnosed with. We don't know what is actually wrong with us, because we just know symptoms. But if you listen to all the symptoms when it comes to every single thing, we got everything. Do you suffer of headaches? Do you not? It's like, when you watch those, I don't know how old y'all are, but I know y'all watch them infomercials of the damn prescription pills, or when they used to run them shits like crazy at the end. Side effects may be damn near dead, basically. So it was just like, when would it be smart to file for an increase, son of sin? It is smart to file for an increase when you have your documentation and stuff ready. So basically, you have your intent to file date. Go on there, file an intent to file date. That gives you a whole year, which basically will backdate till when you submitted that intent to file date. So if you are still gathering your information for that increase and you know within this whole year you will have that, file an intent to file claim today. Put everything together, have everything that you need to show to file for that increase and have that increase show up, and then from there submit it. So now the process will happen. You'll go through the process, all the 8 steps, go through that process. You'll get your decision, but now the effective date of your decision would be January 12th of 2025. Instead of you waiting till you have everything, you can do it beforehand. There's no such thing as you have to do it that same day. Once you get the thing, you can do it. No. The intent to file date lasts for a whole year. As long as you file it within that year period, that was when you were intending to file. That's when you would get paid for, because that would be the effective date, because that's when you filed for these claims. So as long as you have the documentation, the diagnosis, the medical evidence and stuff like that, that's going to help you increase, and it's going to help you file an increase with no issues. You can use the appointments this month. Any appointments you have, if it's a private doctor, you can obtain that. You can do that. Put those together, put it. And one thing like I like to tell veterans, if you are filing any disability claims, when you are getting your medical records, when you are uploading them into the system, highlight them for what they are. If you are claiming back issues, you got all these medical records, take everything out that has to do with your back. Put everything out that has to be with your back and separate it into one document. Then put that as back issue whatever, or name it whatever, but classify it so that when that VA rater goes and he's like, oh, you got back issues. Oh shit, he has his own little folder. Back issues. Click on it and you have everything that's there to your back issues. Because then if you don't have that, like I said, I had like 900 plus pages in my medical records. That's with MRIs, x-rays, and all that stuff. I'm not going to read 900 fucking pages. I did because I wanted to make sure I caught everything, and I still missed stuff because I had documents that I had in other places that contributed to like my hearing loss. I found a document showing that I lost so much hearing that I was about to have to change my MOS because I could not hear specific levels. And I totally forgot about that till I found a document when I was just going through my papers. Oh shit, I submitted that. And what did I submit? Hearing loss. They did the thing. Beep, beep. I can hear crazy on this one. I can't hear shit on the other side. And what did I get? Service connected. I ain't get nothing else because it wasn't that severe, but I got enough that it was, like that. I submitted new and relevant evidence on November for denied conditions through quick submit and still available in mail portal and AP code. Haven't been assigned to claim, and I cannot see claim in VA website. The key thing look for on medical records is diagnosis, medication, always accept them, and symptoms. Once all of that is on the medical records, case closed, rating award. It's not LW. It does work like that, but you can't say it does. It doesn't always work that way because you got to remember, you can have all that. And you can still have a shitty fucking VA rater. That's the unfortunate part. Because you can have that. You can have everything lined up and you can go through one VA rater that, you know what, he was having a rough day. The dude was tired. It was Friday. It was about to be a 4-day weekend. And my man said, you know what? I ain't reading all this shit. He got this, he got that. Well, this is way too denied. Unfortunately, shit like that happens. Because like I said, I went through a ankle sprain and my shit got denied, even though I had diagnosis, got a 1.5 years of physical therapy on that same ankle and everything, and they still denied me. So in cases like that, you have to pay attention to that. Because it's still, it's basically, you have to make sure that your stuff is legit. So that way, if you do have to appeal, which sucks, you ain't got shit to worry about because you have everything. It was just whoever was viewing your stuff did a bad job. But those are the things they want to do. They want to know you have a diagnosis. They want to know if you are not taking medication, because you can get the medication and not be taking it, but you're still prescribed that medication and what your ailments are, but then it's going into the CFR. Because look at tinnitus. Tinnitus is 10%, but a lot of people use tinnitus to connect secondaries. Like tinnitus may be causing you migraines. That's 10%. Migraines is number 9 on the list, and that can get up to 50%. So that's what I'm saying. So it differs, but this is basically for tinnitus. And here we'll put this. Can I put this yet? We'll put this on here. So this is to find tinnitus. So if you want to look for tinnitus, that's the section right there, section 4.87. That one will do that. Hearing loss falls into the same thing. So basically that one will take care for both. Okay, after filing, when they set me up to be evaluated, will they evaluate on all my disabilities or the ones I am trying to increase? So when you are doing a C&P examination, what they are trying to do is that they are trying to verify what you are claiming. So if you are filing an increase for this or for that, that's what they're paying attention to. But if you are supposedly supposed to be walking with a cane because you can't walk, and then all of a sudden you strolling in there with no problem, then yeah, that might look kind of weird. I'm just saying, it might look kind of weird. They might not say anything to you directly, but it's just like, man, I thought this dude had a cane and now he's walking. So he must have gotten better. But at the same time, the disabilities that they are checking are what you are trying to increase. That's what they're looking for. I'm still in PT and I had 2 hip surgeries and I left active duties in 1989. Use it. They asked during can you show them the DBQs and what they asked during the exams? Okay, so it's just like, it's just stuff like that. It's just like you want to file for and you need to be prepared. Have a list of what you know is you're going through. Like when it's easy. When you have stuff, you can be feeling better that day. You may be having a good day when it comes to pain rating, but you have to add the fact that, hey, today it's feeling better, but most of the time and on my worst days, yada, 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 yada. So that way they understand and know that, look, today you may look like you're doing okay, but when you're not, you need to walk. You need to be on pain meds. You need to be on muscle relaxers. You need help doing this. You can't cut the grass. You can't shovel snow. When it comes to bending down or picking up your kid, you can't do that. Those are the things you need to make sure you are mentioning, because if you're not mentioning that, they just take it as what you just said. Oh, you were doing okay. Okay, he's doing okay. I always get on my C file, quick submit it. If I receive letter, I would receive a CD, then got a letter dated 4 days prior than the initial letter saying. Silky Slim, when it comes to that, call the VA sometimes. If you already gone through that process, go to the VA and tell them. So this is the website, right? DBQs. So this is the one thing that people it's so let's go to ear. But ear just has ear infections and stuff like that. So I'm going to download. It'll click on it and it'll show the different things here. So here you have all the different things that you can go through for ears. Silent Media, you're welcome. I'm glad I could be assisting. So with the DBQ, this is what it goes. This is something that also a lot of veterans don't fill out and don't know they can use. Let's resubmit it and then send no files with the VA. Silky, like I said, that's something you might want to call them and be like, look, I've gone through this. I have my documentation. I've been being seen for this long. I went through the process. I have the documentations in hand showing this. And the VA is telling me that I don't have anything in file. I need assistance. And do it that way. Because sometimes it's just, like I said, the VA doesn't have enough people. And that's, I'm not saying the VA is great. The VA can be great and it can be terrible. But us as veterans need to start realizing also is there's 6 million of us right now that are filing for disability claims. 6 million. Well, it's at 8 million now because of the 2 million on top of because of the PACT Act. You got to remember, all these people are trying to take care of this, well, maybe a couple thousand that do these, and you're trying to go through 8 million claims. It's going to take some time. It's going to be mistakes. So we have to give them some benefit of the doubt. Not always. We still got to stay on top of them. But we got to be able to say, you know what? I understand y'all might be overwhelmed and y'all dealing with a lot of veterans. And look, some of y'all be rude as shit talking to people on the phone because you're not getting what you're getting. That might lead to you not getting the assistance you want or should be getting because you wanted to be an asshole. That's something to also think about. Not all of us are, cordial and respectful when it comes to talking to people because we're not getting what we're getting. Yeah, PACT Act increased times like crazy because there's an extra 2 million claims, and that's on the thing also. On the PACT Act dashboard, if you don't know, they have a listing of all that and you can do it that way. Veterans contact your VSOs and join groups like the VAW. They are a lot of help with giving you help with claims, and that is also true. I'm always big on VSOs, on the veteran service organizations. Why? Because they do this for free. The problem is that sometimes, they do it for free, so they're not going to go above and beyond. But at the same time, these people are there to do that. Most of these people are veterans. Most of these people have been dealing with claims for some time. So you can go and just ask questions. You can still file it yourself or you can get assistance from them, but they are going to help you. I hate when veterans go to these claim agencies and stuff like that and be like, hey, bro, we're going to take some of your back pay. Fuck that. You can learn all this shit on your own. All those 10,000, 5,000, whatever, you can keep that shit for yourself. See, that's another thing. Plus, everyone that works at the VA doesn't understand because they have no ties to the military. They were never in. They're just a regular person with a job. That's why when you file your disability, look, whenever you are filing, for everybody that's watching right now, whenever you are filing a disability claim, anything, I don't give a shit what it is, you should be able to take your documents, hand it to a random person, and that random person should be able to tell you what you're diagnosed with, what's wrong with you, and how it's bothering you. If you cannot do that with your claim, your shit ain't strong enough. Plain and simple. That's what I tell veterans all the time. I don't give a shit who you go to, where you got the information from, whatever doctor, or you paid somebody. I don't care. If your claim cannot be handed to a person and they cannot tell you what's wrong with you, why would a VA rater be able to? If a random person cannot see your file and be like, oh shit, he does have tinnitus. He did do a damn hearing thing. He got hearing loss too. He lost this. It affects him because of this. He can't hear right. His wife is always yelling at him on one side and then she gets upset because she can't. Shit like that. You put that in there, then that VA rater is going to be like, I'm married too and my wife yells at me all the time, but I can hear it clearly. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You put that in there, they're going to be like, oh, okay. I don't have to have any military ties to know this. But if you sending a document over to somebody, yeah, and that's what it is, Fire and Ice. It's always about helping veterans. I've always done that. Trust me, I've had plenty of people that are still serving that I served with that'll contact me for assistance just to ask questions. And I've gotten a ton of them to 100%. What should I do about this? How should I do that? And I got it to 100%. I don't charge anybody for this. It's free information. This CFR here is free. This is all you. It's just you doing the work. You want to get to 100%, you got to do the heavy lifting. You got to get the diagnosis. You got to get the medical evidence. You got to get the buddy statements. You got to write your own statements. You got to write a nexus letter. You got to put all this stuff together for yourself. Where we lose as veterans is sometimes we put too much faith into these claim agencies or these VSOs and we don't put enough emphasis in ourselves to make sure we are successful. So if you are not putting that effort into it, why would, like Grove said, a regular Joe with a job that's never served in the military know exactly what it is that you're talking about and actually give a shit? You didn't give a shit. Now you mad at the fact that they didn't give a shit. We got to change that. We gotta change that mentality. We gotta help each other, help veterans out, help us be better, help us with benefits, help us with entitlements. But then also we need to help each other to start communicating better, to develop policies that we can send to our congressmen and women so that they can get the shit changed and actually benefit us. Like, one thing I've been saying, what we need to do is with this cost of living adjustment that we get every year, we need to make it that there is a minimum of 4%. COLA rate, no matter what year it is, we should get a 4% raise. And this is something I've been saying. I don't know. I know some people are going to be like, we need like 20. And hear me out though. We make a policy where the cost of living adjustment every year is the minimum 4%. So that us as veterans know every year we are going to get a 4% raise. No matter what the economy does, no matter what, we are getting a 4% raise. Now, that as a minimum, but let's say COLA was up, like, because we had that year, what was it, 2022, I think, that it was just like 8.7 or something like that. It was just like shit went 8.7, we get the 8.7. So if it goes up maybe 2.5 like it did this year, we still get 4. Why? Because we are disabled veterans. The reason why we're getting this compensation is because we're disabled. We are not functioning how we are. So we are not a regularly functioning person. And that's something that needs to happen, whether it's through Social Security also and the VA. We get a minimum of 4% no matter what. Every year it goes up. Because you know why? When it comes to wages and salaries, that's usually what they go up. They usually go up by like about 3%. But I'm disabled. So give me that extra percent. If it goes even higher, we get that higher percentage. If it goes lower than 4, we still get 4. So that way veterans are not struggling and dealing with all these issues when it comes to it. Because it's just like, yeah, the economy sucked for everybody the past couple of years. It's been even after COVID and during COVID. And you gave us a 2.5%, but everything went up more than 2.5%. It's not adding up. So that's why it's like talking to veterans and assisting veterans. This is the stuff we as veterans need to get together and talk about, but we don't. The easiest thing to do is start talking shit about, oh, what your MOS was, what you serve, did you deploy? That's the whole thing of just dividing us. And we need to come together as veterans together to be able to create stuff that actually benefits us. Said about to step it up. Last appointment went horrible. And that's the thing. It's just like, prepare for your stuff. I was just like, these are there. Hearing loss, like I said, tinnitus, hearing loss too. Knee and what is 3 was knee and joint conditions. And that would fall under musculoskeletal. So I'll put this here. Copy that. Give y'all the musculoskeletal thing. So now you have the musculoskeletal thing there. Did it give you the site or not? Oh, no, it didn't give. Whoops, copied the wrong one. Here we go. There's the link to the musculoskeletal part. So if you want to follow along, you can go ahead and follow along. And then this is just scrolling through, and it tells you the joints. And the thing is if you haven't read the CFR and you're planning to file for something and you haven't read it, read every line, y'all. Read the damn regulation. Stop skipping to it. Stop skipping through it and just like, oh shit, where's the percentage at? I was just like, all this information is good for you. And all y'all skipping it because y'all want to just get to this. It's just like, that's part of the process. You have to go through and read everything that it says so you better understand what it is they're looking for, what it is they're asking for. Because your CMP examination, they are going to ask you specific things. But you got to realize that your CMP examination can be different because of how much info you have, how much evidence you have, your nexus letter, all that stuff, it differs. Because for some, when it's not that much information, they going to go 50 cent on you and ask you those 21 questions. But when you have the documentation, you have the evidence, you have the imagery, x-ray, MRI, CAT scan, whatever it is, you have all that, it's kind of difficult. They don't need to ask you. They don't need to go 50 cent on you. They don't. Because it's simple now to see it. It's just like, you know what? He's claiming he has a back injury in his cervical and he has degenerative disc disease. If I go into his file and open it up and the first thing I see is an x-ray and this dude, like you can see the vertebrae, it's just like one is like this and then the other one is like this because of the cartilage is missing. That's pretty simple for me to justify and know you have degenerative disc disease. Now, the question is how is it affecting you? What is it not allowing you to do? How much can you bend, flex? It's flexion and abduction, and they're going to check that. How much can you bend over? They should be pulling out the gynometer. Dash, wherever you're at, Dash. I know you're going to get me for that one. But the gynometer. And it's going to tell you the percentage. And that's what they're going off of. If you bend all the way, you know what? You have a back injury, which we can see, but it's not affecting you to the point where you can't bend. Now, if you can only go this far, then they're like, okay, that's a different percentage because he can't flex his back. You know what I'm saying? But you're looking at it through this regulation. Musculoskeletal, acute, subacute, or chronic diseases. It'll tell you what it is and you go through it. But then also at the same time, you want to find what it is you're filing for. But that's where the DBQs come in, because these are knee and joint issues, right? So if you go back to the Veteran Awareness Project website, you go to musculoskeletal, and you'll just find whatever it is. Knee and lower leg conditions. Now, this will be your knee and lower leg. I said, I ain't been there for no kind of meter. I was just like, but that's one thing, Fire, that a lot of people don't understand. Your CMP examiner is supposed to pull that out so that they can measure your movement. If they're not doing that, you can file a complaint for that, because it's just like, hey, my CMP exam was not done properly because they never pulled out a measurement to see what my bend was. It said 90%. I recently filed PACT Act having diagnosis of acute bronchitis and also sinusitis and ankle sprain from basic training. Got an x-ray showing bone spur. Also filed TDIU and started SSD. Man, you got it all going. The SSI, I'm not too well versed on, but I know you have to be fully disabled. It's different criteria. It's not 100% P&T or 100% through the VA does help, but it doesn't automatically get you that guarantee. If you're filing for bronchitis, sinusitis, and ankle sprain, you may not need the TDIU because of the fact that you may get 100% with that addition. Because like I said, you're at 90%, but where at 90%? You have to be more specific as to what your percentage is. Are you at, I believe you said it was 86 or 89. I forget what was it that you mentioned. But you got to remember that you needed that extra 50%. So now you have to look up at what bronchitis can get you, what sinusitis can get you, what an ankle sprain can get you, what bone spurs can get you. But that's why I say here, the DBQ, this is what you're looking at. Because this is dealing with your knee, right? Well, let's say you're dealing with your knee or your foot, whichever one it is, you go to the DBQ, and it basically gives you, it helps guide you and assisting you as to, hey, these are the different issues that we as CMP examiners, we as the VA recognize are knee issues. All this list here, this is all different knee stuff. All of it is different knee stuff. Now, you got a diagnosis, right, for knee problem. I don't know what it is. It could be knee instability. It could be a tear, It could be a knee strain. It could be arthritis that you have in your knee. And I didn't know till recently that there was so many damn different arthritis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's five. Five different ones, six, almost six to seven different arthritis that you can file for your knee having an issue. Recurring patellar dislocation. Your knee be slipping out. All that stuff, that's all stuff that's there. That's all stuff you can claim. But this gives you a breakdown of what are the possible things I can claim for knee and joint conditions. Because now if you give this to your private doctor, he can look at it and he can be like, you know what? I ain't even fucking think about the fact that you had knee instability. We'll put this and diagnose this on there also. Now you can go to your VA doctor and be like, look, I was diagnosed with knee instability. I would like to get seen for this and stuff like that. Or your doctor can write a VA nexus letter. But keep in mind, your nexus letter has to be done correctly. And those are the things that we have to do. That's why I'm trying to get the C file, because the first CMP did a thorough examination. They sent me to another CMP 45 days later for same DBQs, and they didn't do as much. The DBQs get filled out by them, but you got to remember, DBQs are now allowed to be used by your private doctor. But also keep this in mind, with the new change to the law, the Veterans Disability Improvement Act of 2024, some of the DBQs are going to be removed by the VA secretary and not going to be allowed to be used by an outside entity. They have not specified which ones, but they have made it with the law, basically saying that the VA secretary will determine which one of them will be available. So when you look at this on the website, all these different ones that they have, all the different ones, some of them will be there, some of them will not, depending on the VA secretary's choice. So keep that in mind. William Terry, all presumptives are under Vietnam or Gulf War Pact Act on the VA website. Also, you can Google presumptive. Yes. Did I miss that? I might have missed that question. Sorry for missing that question, Terry. Didn't go by quickly. But yeah, those are things that are there. Those are a bunch of questions. Pact Act stuff, it's there. It's presumptive stuff. You got to keep in mind, this is also another thing that I want to say about the Pact Act and the presumptive stuff. That is going to keep on growing. That list will keep on growing. Why? Because the more we have veterans that are coming out of the Gulf War, coming out of Iraq, coming out of Afghanistan, they start making claims, they start developing stuff because of the toxic exposure. That list will start adding up as more veterans get seen for it, more veterans get dated on, okay, you were in this location, you have this, this person was in that location, they also have that. Then they're going to start tying that together. Because look at the fact that Agent Orange was not put in there till recently, and that was Vietnam. Vietnam was a while back. Vietnam was 50 years back. So keep that in mind. 50 plus years back. Keep that in mind, that it took them that long to develop and notice, because why? You had all these veterans that were filing for cancers that they were developing. That's how it became presumptive. So you check out that list. It is on the website. Let it load. If it loads, my internet is acting a fool. You can just search for it, because it used to be right at the top. And my internet is running pretty slow. JC. So we'll put this link here. Put that in here. If you have any questions with the VA and Pact Act, go and check that out there. That should provide you information on there. What I was saying, knee and joint pain, this is here. So you can fill this out, or you can look at it yourself and see what else you may have, because you can bring these things up to your medical provider to your doctor, like, hey, I think I may have this. Do I fit any of these other claims? Because now when you're filing for that first knee claim, you add on to it. The same way when it comes to like back injuries, which is number 6, and we'll get into. But we can just explain it simply as if you have degenerative disc disease, you may have arthritis in your back that might cause different stuff, and is there. Definitely I got denied PACT Act claim. It happens. It happens. And I'll show you, where is it? Give me 1 second. Where is this dashboard? So this is the VA dashboard that I'm about to show y'all. If it loads. And this is something that you can look at the information, and it's free. It's free also. This is something that, because of Congress and the Veteran Affairs Committees, they made it so that this had to be reported as part of it. We have 1.9 million PACT Act related claims. Approved, we got 1.4 million. Hello, appreciate it. I do this every Sunday. Every Sunday we do a workshop. Every Sunday we do this workshop. 12 noon every Sunday. If I miss, just check out the community posts and stuff like that. I post questions on there, but that's where I'll notify, like, hey, this week migraine took me out. Can't do it, or something like that. But we are starting to also do some in the middle of the week. So this past week we did one on Thursday afternoon, and we did another one on Friday night. So we'll start doing pop-up ones here and there. Keep your notifications going so that way you get notified of when it happens. But every Sunday 12 noon, you will see my face here, and we'll be going over a certain topic or just answering questions and assisting veterans on whatever it may be. So appreciate you subbing. Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, this right here shows you there's 500 difference that did not get approved. But there's 1.9 million extra claims that have filed from August 10th, because remember, it got enacted August 9th, till December 15th of 2024. That's not counting the past month of information, because they do it quarterly where they add it. So next quarter, they'll add the whole another step to it, and they'll do it that way. PACT Act claim has to be a condition from PACT Act, or PACT Act claim is general. It's general because you're filing for it, but you're going through it as a PACT Act claim, because you will fall under it. There's no, how would I put it? Because you could go like, this is what there's no, it's filing a disability claim. It's going to give you the same stuff. It's not going to be any more different, I would say. But the thing is most of the stuff is being claimed as it. And it's just like you're doing it specifically saying that it was because of the PACT Act. Because the thing is you can have a condition, but the condition may not be causing anything. You could have anything from the PACT Act that if you file it regularly, it's not, they're gonna see it as they're not claiming because of this. If you file it saying it's PACT Act claim, then it's just like, okay, you got sinitis because of the PACT Act claim. Because now, well, you wanna do it that way, because the thing is there's no different form for it. It's the placement of how you do it, and that I have to be more specific. So I don't want to give a specific answer, because I'm not entirely sure right there. Because the thing is you are filing for it, but the thing is those claims will be tied to the PACT Act. So if you are filing for sinitis, which was there, it'll be presumptive, because now they have to verify your information to show that you were in one of these areas. So it's basically, I'm not sure. I have to find out how people have done it. That's a question. That's a very good question, to see how it is that they put it into the claim. That's what I need to find out. Because that's the one thing I don't. Oh, okay, there you go. So Silky Slim just answered that. So when you go through filing a claim, the regular steps you go through, but then this time you select it as a PACT Act claim. So because the thing is I haven't filed a PACT Act claim. I am under the registry. I already got put into the registry automatically because that's what they're doing. They're putting it automatically. But if you are filing new, that's when you would put that. And I guess there's like Slim is saying that there would be a place where you would put PACT Act claim, and then you would list all the different stuff, because now they will understand that you are filing this under the PACT Act. So they have to look at your time in service. They have to look at the placement of where you were. So if you were in one of the areas like how it, that's the dashboard. Let's see, eligibility. What does it mean to have a presumptive condition? So these are the different presumptive ones. This is Gulf War era and post 9/11. What burn pit and toxic exposure conditions are now presumptive? And it gives you this entire list. Same thing for what Agent Orange. This is what's there. And that's if you want to get screenings, you'll get screenings for the toxic exposure screening at the VA, and it's basically covering these items. So that's what you're doing when you're filing. You're getting that, you're filing that, and that's what you're going through, and that's the information you're obtaining from there. And it's just like if you have something like that, check to see if it falls under that list. File for it as a PACT Act, because it's easier. I'm not gonna say it's easier, but the thing is it's more likely for you to be diagnosed and presumptive with it because you served in that area. Yeah, you don't need the extra paperwork for that, because they're already gonna see you just like, oh, well, you served in Afghanistan and Iraq. This is presumptive there, so you don't have to do all that. And yes, it's better to do that. Yeah, because it asks you places and estimated dates where you were in those theaters. They're gonna ask that, but your DD-214 is on file. It's gonna show that. Deployment, this time to this time. You just gotta put the same information. I was here from this time to this time. They're going to look at it. It was just like, oh, yep, he was there. This was it. You should be good to go. And it makes it 10 times easier where you don't need the extra stuff. The thing is that you still have to be diagnosed with it. Got to make sure you're being diagnosed by these. You can't just file, say, I got this. No, get a diagnosis for it. Even if it's through the VA, it's like, I got sinitis. So it's just like, I'm filing for it to that. I was at all the bases where they have environments. Leak if you but it sucks, but that's how it is. That's how it happens, and that's where people get that information. All right, so we did that. We went through knee and joint. Number 4, PTSD. Let's get that one, and this one will just be under mental health evaluations. So mental disorders. Do this. Same thing as the last one. Give you all the link to that. That's mental health disorders. Keep in mind with mental health disorders, it's a bit different. PTSD was the highest claimed when it came to mental health issues. But you got to remember that mental health issues are all tied together. You get one rating. And especially with the possible changes to the rating schedule coming out, that's going to change also. So, but this is the listing of all the stuff that falls under mental health disorders. And you can see some got removed because some got removed off of the list and some got added into other sections, stuff like that. Keep that in mind. But these are all the different ones. Post-traumatic stress disorder, diagnostic code 9411. But you may be also dealing with major depressive disorder, or sometimes, as they like to put it, chronic adjustment disorder, panic disorder, generalized anxiety disorder. All these things get tied together and they all fall under the same rating schedule. Goes from 0 to 100%. What do you mean by, does that include rehab? I'm not sure I understand the question. Like, when you mean, does it include rehab? Like, what do you mean? Does you going through rehab or going through medication and getting medicated, or what does that mean? Because the thing is it's all part of it. You were diagnosed with something. If you went through rehab, you were diagnosed with something. Because then there's also one here. Where's it at? Because there's post-traumatic stress disorder, and then there's is caused by drinking. Where the hell is that one? I forget where it's at. Or like substance. I forget what the hell this shit is called. But it's just like you drink alcohol because of your PTSD. So you have like an alcohol addiction because of it. I forget what that claim is though. But sometimes that's what happens with veterans. We drink already, but then with PTSD you drink because of it, and you have alcohol. I forget what it is. It is that, Gabriel, but I forget because it is a specific way of saying it. And I forget what it is, how it is. It's substance abuse caused by PTSD. It's the wording. I can't remember exactly the wording, but that's what it is. So all these things here, PTSD was number 4 on the rating, like what they were asking, like what was mostly claimed. But you fall into all of this. So you can have any one of these, but determining which is the one that is causing you the higher rating is what they are going to put on there. So if your PTSD is only at, let's say, 10%, but your OCD is at 50, they're going to put it at 50%. So you're going to get that 50% rating, but they're going to most likely put that, and they might put the PTSD in there, but it's going to say 50% because it's going off of, they're going to contribute which makes it worse for you. So that's how those claims work with mental health. You can have half of this list, but what's going to happen is they're going to combine that rating. So it's literally taking all those different things you have, all those symptoms, and how do they affect you, that it falls into the rating criteria of 0 to 100%. That's how you get that rating for PTSD. And that's how it gives you. So what happens if I expand the table? Oh, just opens it up a bit bigger. That's not bad. That actually might work better. But it doesn't show the whole thing, so I can't see it that way. But that's how that is shown. So that's how you get the PTSD. That's how you look at what the criteria is, what the information is, and this is one of the ones where you can get 100% on. If you notice with the hearing and tinnitus, you can have tinnitus and you can have people flatlining in your ear the whole damn time. You're only going to get 10%. So that's why I say it's important to know in the CFR what it is you're filing for and what it is you can get, so that you have a better understanding of where you're going to sit at when it comes to your ratings. Because the thing is if you file your disability claims and you went off of tinnitus and you did this, and most of those only get you like 20%, and you were like, man, I was expecting to get 100% out of this, you are causing yourself more anxiety and more stress because you thought you were going to get something that you had no chance of getting. So that's something that's important to pay attention to when it comes to those ratings. What's the next one? Scarring and skin conditions. This is one that most veterans forget or don't know. Well, for VA math, I have a video on that. Where is it? Let me see if I have it linked. Hopefully I have it linked. I don't think I have it linked. I have a video explaining what VA math does and how to actually go about doing it. Because it's not as simple as people think. It's not as straightforward. Here's the link to that one. So that way it's a better explanation of how VA math actually works. So it's a percentage of a percentage. I like to tell people you're the pizza pie. When you get a percentage, you get the highest percentage, you take that percentage off of the pie. You are left with what's left of the pie. So you got that 50% rating, now you left with 50% of the pie. After that, Whatever next percentage is that you got, if you got another 50% rating, 50% of what's left of the pie. So you got 50% taken away. You were left with 50% of the pie. Now you got another 50%. Now you cut that in half. Now you left with 25%. And you keep on going down the list like that. You are a pizza pie and you are taking pieces, you are taking percentages away from the pie to make it to 95. And as specific as you can get, the better it is, because then you find a justification, you find the numbers that you need to put in there. And then having that makes it 10 times easier because you know what you can get and what you need to get. Hey, any of y'all had a shaving profile? Did y'all file for that? I know most people don't. I didn't know that was a rating until after the fact. Where is this damn folliculitis? I can't say that shit. Why they gotta make these things so difficult sometimes to pronounce some of these? That's the greatest. It's the easiest way that I was able to explain people how to work the VA math. You are a pizza pie and you are taking percentages off of that pie. Because most people will look at that shit and just be like, bro, what? I was like, how I got 75, 75, or I got 70, 50, 50, 50, and I'm not 100%. That shit throws people off. But it's just like, take the pieces of the pie out and take it that way. Yeah. Barbea folliculitis. I can't fucking say that shit. It's in here. I was searching, but I know I ain't typing it right. So it's just like, what the hell is it? Dermatitis or eczema is another one. But yes, if you have burn scars, any kind of scars, me, I actually have scars on my chin. You can't see it because of the beard, but I had laser therapy done because of how bad my ingrowns were, and that was part of easy way to get my filing because he didn't ask me shit. It was just like he looked at it, it was just like, oh, you went through laser therapy because of your skin, your hair, skin. Oh, but he didn't ask none of that. He just looked at it, he was just like, oh damn. Like most people don't, I haven't seen many people that actually went through the laser therapy to try to get their shit fixed. And he was just like, oh, okay. It just moved on over. He didn't ask no further questions, no nothing. The scars, though, he looked at it and it was just like, because I had scars because of it, the laser. So I have like certain scars on there where there's no hair growing there anymore. So he saw that. But the thing is that with your scars is depending on, is it painful and the size of the scar. So like I said, that's going through this and it areas or burn scars. If you got a burn, if you got anything that you did while deployed, you ran through this, did that, that's something you want to highlight. That's something you want to put on there so that way they understand. It's just like, hold on one second. They understand. It's just like, okay, he has a scar. That's one of the higher, that's number 5 when it comes to scarring and skin conditions, because burn scars, just the instability of them, if they are painful to the touch still. And look at all the different ratings. So here you can see that it's different. Burn scars of the head, face, or neck. Certain criteria. Burn scars due to other causes, not of the head, face, or somewhere else. Tells you how large it's going to be. That'll give you the percentage. That only goes up to 40. If you got other burn scars, it only goes up to 80. So that's something to keep in mind. And that's what I'm saying. Pay attention to those, because then you know when you're filing, you know a better place to look at and you know what the possibility is of the rating you can get. Burn scars due to other causes, not of the head, same thing. Scars, general rating for the skin. Lesions, if you have lesions of 40% of the entire body, stuff like that, that's a different characteristic that you file like that also. Dermatitis, eczema. rate as disfigurement, which will tell you as like, so diagnostic code would fall under one of these, which means it's one of these, but you have to be there. Yep, and that's a file. See, most people don't know that. I just helped Gabriel just get another file. You file in there. So, let me, before I do that, let me make sure I give you this so that you have the link. That way y'all can go back. If y'all go back, y'all can come back to the workshop, look at it, check it out that way, and do it that way. And then when you see it, it's just like, okay, you can go back through it, search through it, go through this, and now you have the link of where it is and where you got to look at and the information you're looking for. Because it's there. But now it's showing you, are skin conditions part of the PACT Act? That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure if there's any presumptive. Let's see. I don't see anything that's. I don't see anything that would tie it, but at the same time, you can tie it to something, because the thing is let's say you can put scars as a secondary to something from the PACT Act. I would say I wouldn't see why you wouldn't be able to, because let's say you have a cancer or something and you had to the medication or chemo or something like that caused a skin issue, cause disfigurement of the skin while you're going through that. That would be a secondary claim. It was like you're signing up through the PACT Act because you got this cancer, but the medication or whatever led to lesions or whatever on your body. That would be a secondary claim to it. So you would have to get the connection of the PACT Act first. Then you file for the secondary of, hey, you have skin issues that were caused because of said cancer or said thing tied to it. See, but these are all the different things. Malignant skin neoplasms, benign skin, infections of the skin not listed elsewhere included bacterial, fungal, viral. Evaluate under the general rating formula for the skin. And these are all the different things that you can file that fall under skin conditions. Same thing. Go to the DBQ. Where is it at? I need to figure out where that is, because I don't have one here for skin. Interesting. It falls into one of these. Can't remember which one. But why did you help me resubmit the claim? Bro, just ask questions, man. I'm just here to assist. I don't the reason I don't assist people directly with claims is because of the fact that I want you to do the work for yourself. I want to show you where it is, but at the same time, I don't want that added pressure of, hey man, you told me to file this and this shit got denied. Or, hey man, you filed this and my claim is taking forever. I gotta appeal it and stuff. Like, I don't want to deal through that process, because the thing is I already deal with enough anxiety and shit on my own. Then to start worrying about me taking care of other veterans, to the fact where I have to file their stuff, make sure this shit is correct, make sure I can't, my brain will melt. The anxiety level on that would just be crazy. That's why it's like, if you have questions or you don't know something, ask, because I'm going to get you the answer, but you're the best one that knows what your issues are. I was like, you can submit another claim, but you're the only one that knows what you deal with. You're the only one that you have a scar, but you completely forgot how you got that scar. On my last one, I filed for this injury and scar on top of my head, 3-4 inches. Clearly, I was treated at the base ER. So when my claim came back, they said it wasn't service related. Now, when it was treated at the base ER, do you have that documentation? Because the thing is a lot of the times what I've noticed is that if you go to different places of different entities that aren't your like clinic, sometimes they don't have that shit. Because I went to the emergency room in Germany multiple times for certain issues. And I had to get the information from the Germans, have it translated, and then they put it in there. He said, "Low disclaimer, this is all on you." It's just like I can help you do it, but at the same time, it is all on you. And I submitted that low. See, that's the thing, JC. Like I said, sometimes they just miss shit. Sometimes they just take it as there's nothing there. Because the thing is how did you get the scar on top of your head? Because the thing is you might have gotten it fixed in the ER, but was it because of training? Was it because of a training exercise, or was it fall? Annette, man, I appreciate the hell out of you, Annette. Folliculitis barbea. There you go. Shaving profile if you had one. Thank you, Annette. I appreciate you. That's the one right there. That's what you file for. If you had a shaving profile, had ingrown hairs, whatever the case, that's what you file for. Yeah. And that's all it is. It's like you need a file for that, because the thing is most of the time it's like I said, it gets overlooked. Sometimes they don't do that because, like I said, I had to submit my own emergency room visits to my medical, because the thing is in Germany, you don't have a hospital on base. You have to go to the hospital on there. And most of the time what they told you is like, look, if it's an issue, go to the ER. But what they fail to tell you is that you need to get the documents from there. You need to get them translated from German to English, and then from there submit it to your medical file so that they can put it into your medical file. They don't say that part. They just, hey, you went, you came back, they'll look at it. It was just like, oh, okay, you were put on medication. This is what's wrong. We'll just put you on the profile. There you go. That's it. Most people don't understand. You have to get that documentation and you have to get it there. If you are, for a lot of us, we're already veterans. We're already out the service. If you know people in service, I Hurt Me book. People gonna be like, what the fuck? It was just like, I came up with this. The I Hurt Me book. That's gonna be a little campaign I do on here. So anybody tries to steal that shit, I said it here first, and that's what I'm doing. I Hurt Me book. You had your I Love Me book. You need an I Hurt Me book. I hurt myself on this. This is my profile. Print that shit out. Put it in there. I went and got seen on this day. Boom. And that's where it is. I got seen for this. I twisted my ankle here. I put that there. I got the documentation for this. I got on profile for this. I've been on physical therapy for this. Whatever it is, you are putting that into your I Hurt Me book. So that when it comes down the line, when it's time for you to get out, you have everything documented. You have specific dates. You have evidence. You have stuff so that way you can go and you can write it up and be like, you know what? I messed up my knee on here. I didn't get seen for it, but it was on this day that I was this. We were doing this training. Hey, so-and-so was with me. I need you to write a buddy statement that you were there when I twisted my knee or whatever the case. And you have that all aligned. Because remember, you don't always go to the doctor for the stuff you get hit with. Even as a veteran, you don't do that. Most of the time it's, bro, I'm going to just take... What'd they give us? A Motrin or ibuprofen or damn Tylenol or whatever? It'd be like, hey, bro, 1,000 milligrams with a monster. Chuck it back and we good to go. But if you don't have all that identifying information, it kind of makes it difficult for you to get anywhere with it. All right, what was the next one? So we are at number 6 now, neck and back pain. We went over this a bit earlier already because it falls under the musculoskeletal stuff. So it's the same link. But that's there. Back, lower back, upper back. The best thing I would suggest when it comes to dealing with the back issues is use the disability benefit questionnaire. Because it'll go and it'll take you to pseudofolliculitis barbea, also called this too. And then I say shaving profile. I can't say this. Pseudo folliculitis. Pseudo folliculitis. Barbeo. There we go. Sure. Um, so when you're looking at it, when it comes to back and neck pain, you have to look at it as these different things. This is the DBQs. You have the back thoracolumbar spine, which is your lower spine, and then you have neck cervical spine, your upper spine. Two different distinctions, two different things of filing, because it's two different areas. If you have upper back issues, you can have nerve damage. You can have pinched nerves. You can have your arm going numb on the top part with the cervical. Then there's also the lumbar, which you can have sciatica. You can have numbing of the leg because you have stuff pinched or stuff like that. But that you would check on lumbar. These are all the things right here. Some of them will be the same thing when it comes to it. When you're contributing to it, it's going to be the same information. Some of them will be the same things you can claim for upper and lower, but then some is different. Because if you look at that one, that's back. Then we can go to neck and cervical. And most of these are the same thing. There are some differences because this one is a lumbosacral strain. And then there's no lumbar here. It's a cervical strain because it's neck. So those are two different things, but these are the different things that you can fall under because you can have a cervical strain. You can have degenerative arthritis, which is causing you the pain while also having degenerative disc disease, or it's an invertebrate disc syndrome. You could have had a fracture, a dislocation, bulging disc, stuff like that. That's something that you would file, but that would be for your upper back. Now you may have the same issue with your lower back. Gives you the same ones you can file for, but a couple of extra ones that's there. Same thing. So this is just basically attributing the stuff that is back issues and stuff like that. So that way you understand these are the things that fall under the DBQ. These are the things that if a CMP examiner is examining you, they may add these things on there. Like I said, not every CMP examiner is great. Some of them they need a raise. Some of them need to get put in a box somewhere. I'll just leave it at that. Because the good ones will add these extra items onto your claim because they diagnose you with it and they see that you have these issues. Other ones are just going to be like, well, he filed for a strain. He has a strain. Thoracic or T-spine. Yeah. I was just like, you claim all that stuff. It's there. The thing is if you're not putting all the extra stuff in there, they're not going to look for it. Like I said, it's just like some are trash. But like I said, it's you doing the heavy lifting. It's you making sure your shit is correct. Because the thing is you can have your shit correct and you can still get denied because somebody was trash as a CMP examiner or somebody was trash as a VA rater. But when you go to that high level review, that shit is going to be a breeze in the park. Because it's going to have everything there. It's just going to be like, look, this person just straight up overlooked this. Hey, the high level review might take a couple of months. You don't get back pay. That just makes it worse on them. But if you have everything correctly, you good to go. My Jax, I was airborne also in the my little back pains ain't getting better. They gave me a Replexa machine, but not helping. I don't even know what a Replexa machine is. Look that up. What is a Replexa machine? Ah, okay. Okay. It's kind of like the tension I have one of them shits up there. There was another one they were trying to put me on, and I was just like, bro, it's not. This shit ain't working. I don't want to have pain still, and just hey, it's numb down for that, and then I feel good, try to do some shit, and then I'm just like out for a couple. No, I was just like, fuck that. Um, but I do understand that. But those are things that's just like, hey, yeah, you have that, use it. Use it, you have it, and just be like, hey, you are using this machine that was prescribed to you, but your ailments are worsening. Your back is worse. You're having still the pain has increased. Those are the stuff you have to mention, and that's how you file for an increase. But then it's also making sure you get checked. Hey, check to see if you have any of these issues. Ask your doctor, like, hey, could it be any of this? Can I get an x-ray done just to make sure or rule out that it's not having a dislocated disc or a bulging disc or a slip disc? Kind of the same thing, but still, your disc isn't where it's supposed to be. Got to get that notated. But like, look, I just want to rule this out and just do that if it's possible. If not, you go to your own private doctor, get the same stuff done, and you get that information. And now you have documentation because you've already been put on the machine. You've already been checked for it, but your symptoms have progressively gotten worse. That's how you file for an increase. And those are the easier ones. Why? Because you're already service connected. You don't need the extra documentation when something's already service connected. What you need now is the documentation showing, okay, I'm in pain. This is how it's gotten worse. And that's what it is. You want to show why it's gotten worse and how it's gotten worse. The diagnosis isn't going to change because you got the same diagnosis. It's just worsened. But you have to show that it's worsened. Did your medication have to be upped? Hand sleeping got my that's why it's good to that's why I like doing lives, Gabriel, because the thing is me talking, I can reach people in different ways because I think differently. Probably why I got head issues, but that's a whole nother story. But me talking to people, it comes up with the stuff that I think of and I mention, and it's easier to talk to veterans that way because then it makes veterans click. It makes veterans think of some shit that they didn't, or something that I was just like, you know what? I didn't even think of that. And then from there, you benefit from it because now it's just like, you know what? I can file for this now, or I can look into this because I do remember my hand going numb. It doesn't happen often, but I do remember it happening. So that's why I like doing lives better this way because it's easier for me to do. But see, you go through here, but the musculoskeletal, you got to remember, it goes over all this: elbow, arm, forearm. So this basically, number 6 is back and neck pain, and it's going to be ankle. Ankles is number 8. So we're just going to cover it at the same thing. But it's basically, you have it there, shows you the arm, shoulder, everything, wrist. As you keep on scrolling down, ankylosis of it, the spine, and that's where it goes through all the different ones. Tells you what the codes are, disc syndrome, what the percentages are. If you have it in the entire spine, it's 100%. If not, it goes down. Excuse me, it goes down the list. These are all the stuff that's on the DBQ. All these items are the same stuff that's on the DBQ, degenerative arthritis and stuff like that. And it has what it is and what the problem is. This is how they're going to rate your percentage of your movement: flexion, lateral flexion, and rotation. How much can you move? How much can you twist? How much can you bend? Same thing with that's for the cervical. For the lumbar, lower, can you bend all the way down? Can you go sideways? How much can you rotate? Same thing. Hip and thigh, same stuff. Knee and leg, which is what we went over earlier. And you go down, it goes to the ankle, which is number 8 in foot conditions. Same thing. These are the different things depending on your range of motion. Look, the most you can get when it comes to ankle injury, 40%. So don't go thinking that just because your ankle is not the same and you be tripping and falling all the time, you're going to get 100% off of that. You will only get a certain amount. The foot, look at all the different things that you can fall under. And the highest you can see is 50 because it's bilateral. That's because it's on both sides. Bilateral. But some plantar fasciitis, 30%. That's if you get no relief from non-surgical and surgical treatment. So you would have to show that you have done both. 30%. Flat foot. Yeah, shin splints will do it. Shin splints will definitely do it. And that'll cause a whole bunch of other shit too. And here you go, you're looking for all that. And that's how it breaks it down. You got bunions and stuff. That's a claim too. If it was developed there, that one I tried to file for that, but that one I got denied because it was just like there's no service connection. I ain't have no complaints or anything during it, but it definitely developed there, and they just said it was service denied. And I was just like, you know what? It don't bother me. It doesn't affect me. I'm not gonna fight this one because I don't have more justification or anything that can contribute to it. So I left that one alone, but it's there. Other foot injuries, and it says foot injuries. So either in these exams, if you can't move only so far, that's it. Don't let the doctor try to encourage you to move more if you can. That is also correct. Your range of motion is your range of motion. When you go in there, you are highlighting how you feel, what you can do. Don't listen to anything extra besides that. If you can only bend so far, your knee can only go so far, your foot can only go so far, that's what you're claiming. That's what you're showing. Don't try to push through the pain because that's what a lot of veterans tend to do, where it's just like, you know what? I have this injury. I'm going to push myself there. That is not the day you want to push yourself. That is the day it was just like, oh, that's painful. Stop. Now, don't over exaggerate because that doesn't lead to anything good. But once you feel that thing of pain, whatever range it is, you stop. Yeah, 10% for both shins. Now, the thing is Gabriel, you got to look into it. Is that affecting your knees now? Is that causing you knee problems? Is that causing you ankle problems? Is it causing you leg problems because you have shin splints? Has that developed into something else? That's what you look into a bit further. But that's as far as you go. Next one is sleep apnea. And I forget what this one falls under. Respiratory. For anything that's considered. Respiratory is for sleep apnea. Let me make sure I find it. See, tinnitus. One of the main claims now that it's due through the PACT Act. That is now presumptive. And they can go from here. Tinnitus goes from 50 to 0. For larynx, pharynx, allergic, trachea and bronchi. Where the hell is tuberculosis? I know it's towards the bottom of this. Sleep apnea. Now, yes, I am talking sleep apnea. So sleep apnea was number 7 because we were going over back and neck pain and ankle and foot, because back and neck pain is number 6. Ankle and foot conditions is number 8. So those are the different ones, but I tied those two because when you look at musculoskeletal, it all falls under musculoskeletal. So basically those two are combined and it's going off of that same place we highlighted. That's what that's showing. Sleep apnea is under the respiratory thing, but here you have the criteria for it. It goes from 0 to 100%. Most have the 50% mark. Because if you have a CPAP machine, basically you need something to help you. It's a breathing assistance device to make sure you are not choking on yourself and not passing out or whatever the case may be. That's what you're doing. You're putting that on there. There it goes from 0 to 100. It shows it. You can have 0 because you can have it, but it doesn't cause any issues. And that's here. Diagnostic code 6847. And that's sleep apnea. That's that's one that many people have and don't realize they have it. Easy way. I got a bunch of my friends to get tested for it because it's just like, look, if you are going throughout your day and you are always tired, you can go to sleep, but you feel like you ain't sleep, you ain't rested. You may be waking up in the middle of the night and taking a piss a bunch of the times, or you sometimes wake up randomly in the middle of the night and don't know why. That is caused by sleep apnea. So how it was explained to me with the German doctor when he gave me my machine, it's the same thing with toes and stuff like that. It goes under musculoskeletal. You would just go down that list and it says foot, and you would see what the injuries are that you may be able to claim. Got a machine. It took a year to get oxygen to help me. I got a semi-stroke, and that's what people don't understand that. But those different symptoms of waking up in the morning, needing to take a piss, doing all that stuff, those can contribute to that and cause a lot of issues. So that's something that people need to pay in mind, need to look at, need to, make sure they are aware of that, because that's stuff that's there also. That's information that most people don't tend to realize and don't know. These are the things that this is sleep apnea. This is causing sleep apnea. These are things that are going on, and these are the symptoms that most people don't think. Most people just think, hey, I just wake up in the middle of the night, because you can wake up and then you can go back to sleep with no problem. When you go to pee, it's because your body is telling you, hey, we need oxygen. So the quickest way to tell you is like, it knows you're going to wake up and pee. Or if you need to pee, you're going to get up. You're going to get up. You're going to start moving around. You're going to start breathing again. You're going to get that oxygen back into your body. And then it's just like, all right, you can go back to sleep now. And then you fall into it again. With a CPAP machine, you have it. You don't run through that problem as much, because basically there's forced air going into your lungs to make sure that when you're, whether it's your throat or whatever is like closing up on you, you'll get that. And that's how you get that percentage. But you have to have a sleep study done. If you don't have a sleep study done, you're not going to get that. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize, is like, you need to make sure you have a sleep study showing that. And the thing is another thing with vets, because a lot of my friends, what they tried to do was they did the whole, I'm going to send you home with the machine type shit. No. Say you want to do the full study at a location. Because the thing is for me, that helped mine. Because the thing is when I did my sleep study, it was literally, I went to a place, I went to sleep at that place. They put all these different sensors on me all over my body. They recorded the whole thing. So that's how I know I had restless leg syndrome. I learned I had restless leg syndrome because of the fact that they recorded me and they was like, bro, you was twitching the whole damn fucking time. You putting on a little machine that they tell you to take home is not going to give you that information. That is not going to make you aware that they have it. You have to send home one. And I was just like, if you can, go and try to get a full blown out sleep study where you are sleeping at the place, because they will put sensors all over you. They will check your oxygen level. They'll put a little nose strip and they'll see how much oxygen you're getting, what's the percentage of oxygen you're getting, and all that. They recorded it. When I submitted that paperwork and I seen it, I was just like, look, I need a CPAP machine. He saw that shit and it explained everything, showed the oxygen levels and stuff like that. Because with the take home one, yo, what up, Sheem? With the take home one is different. Yeah, with the one with the take home one is different because it's literally you just putting something on your chest and it's just checking to see if you're stopping from breathing. There's no oxygen level being checked. There's no sensors showing that your body is receiving oxygen and stuff like that. So when you do it that way, you are receiving that information and just like, you know what? Okay, cool. He has this. Because you can have sleep apnea and the reason I say to do the at home, not the full blown one, is because when you at home, you already know how you sleep. You already know that when you sleep on your side, you don't got sleep apnea as much. Or when you sleep this way, you breathe better or you can sleep better. So what are you going to do when you get that little machine at home? You're going to put it and you're going to still try to fall asleep the best way you know how to. As compared to going to that sleep study place, man, that shit is not comfortable. It's not your bed. You don't know where the hell you at, but what are you going to do? You're going to lay there and you're going to let that oxygen there and you're going to try to lay down and go to sleep the way you should go to sleep, which is on your back. You go to sleep on your back, or you try to do it, make sure that you are falling asleep in the way a normal person would. Not on your side. Fall asleep on your back, because that's what causes a lot of that constricting effect when it comes to sleep apnea. So now when you do it and you have that on your chest and you choking up and stuff like that, it'll read it. But if you on your side, because you know you feel better and you sleep better on your side, it's gonna be like, well, you don't got sleep apnea. And that's what a lot of people realize. Because I started noticing, I was just like, why are people getting sent? Like, it is difficult to get send them to a sleep study, find a place that's available and stuff like that. But at the same time, you got to look at it as just like that little device on your chest is just showing a certain thing. But you're going to sleep on your side because you want to be comfortable. And if you're going to do it, tire yourself the hell out. When you got that shit, make sure you tire yourself out, so that when you lay down, you go to sleep. And then you start doing all the shit you need to do it like that. Make sure you are tired. Because when I went to that sleep study, man, they put all them sensors on me, but I had worked a full damn day. I think we ran. I don't know what we did. Like, I was dead tired. I went, I was just like, you are in an uncomfortable place because you are not in your home. You are not in your bed. You got all this shit stuck to you, got a little nose strip and everything, and then the room is kind of cold too, so it's like they give you like a little half-ass blanket. And then you go, at least that was my place. You go to sleep. I knocked out for like 8-9 hours, slept, and then they came back, was just like, oh, you have moderate sleep apnea. I was just like, oh, or central as they like to say, but for me they called it moderate, because it's like 3 different levels of it, and that's how you get it. And you do it that way, and if you got sleep apnea, it's gonna pop up, and do it that way. That's the easiest way of doing it. If you got sleep apnea, that will highlight it, and that will show what it is you're dealing with at that level. But you want to make sure that you are dead tired, so that your body can go into a relaxed sleep, even though you're going to wake up throughout the night because of the sleep apnea, but your body is already tired, where it's just like, look, I'm not going to try to fidget. I'm not going to try to move. Lay down, have that shit, and let that shit get up or whatever. If you got to go pee, but have that on. But make sure you are not sleeping in the most comfortable way that you know you do. Because if you do, that's going to tend to make it seem like you don't got sleep apnea. Why? Because you slept in the way you know you are able to sleep. Sleep apnea is not going to show up as high if you sleep in the position that you know, this is the only way I can sleep. Sleep in the way you know you would regularly want to, but don't because of the sleep apnea, and then take the thing. And that's number 7, sleep apnea. All right, we did number 8, which we did the ankle and foot conditions. Number 9 is migraines. We got one more, and then we are going to call it. The other one is pretty simple. Title 38 falls under neurological conditions. Okay. So we'll go here, search for neurological conditions, and we will put this in the chat so y'all have that link. What about toes? Toes falls into the same thing, JC. If you were looking for, when it falls into the ankle and foot conditions, you're gonna go into the musculoskeletal part, or you could go through the DBQs here, and it should have, because I believe it falls under foot conditions, including flat foot. So that would highlight there. And these are all the different things that are foot conditions. Then there's arthritic conditions, inflammatory conditions, tendinopathy conditions, and you would just get that from there. You look at those, and that's how you would get that information for those. So you'd be able to obtain what it is you can file for foot conditions that way. Neurological conditions. What's going on here? Why is my mouse not moving? Okay. Neurological conditions, it falls under all this different stuff. Isn't it 8101? I think it's something like that. But you would have to go through it, find where it's at. But these are all the things that just like this also falls into like TBIs. 8100 migraines. So when you're looking at migraines, this is what you're looking at. And then that's the thing. The one thing that people like when they go to CMP exams, when it comes to migraines and headaches, what you state is very important. Because the thing is you see what the ratings are. It goes from 0 to 50%. 0 with less frequent attacks, and 50 with very frequent, completely prostrating and prolonged attacks, productive of severe economic inaptability. Chandler, no problem. Like I said, if you have that sleep study, make sure you're tired as hell. And if you got that at home one, go to sleep in the way you are supposed to, not the way you usually do that you are comfortable sleeping in. Go to sleep in the way that is like sleep on your back, or try to sleep on your back. It's going to be uncomfortable. You're probably going to have issues sleeping, but that's what you want to show up on the sleep study. If you sleep it on your side and you sleep well and you breathe well and stuff like that, sleep apnea is going to be like, well, you ain't got shit because you were breathing just fine. You need to be able to say, hey, I slept like this and I can't breathe. Just keep that in mind. Just make sure you're tired so that way you can go to sleep. And you might feel like shit the next day because sleep apnea you don't get enough oxygen into your body to actually let your body recuperate. And that's one of the causes that does that. And then that ties into chronic fatigue syndrome. So that's something that you can put into, because it's just like, look, I have sleep apnea that bad that I don't get rest. My body doesn't think, and I feel exhausted every day, which is part of the signs of it. You still got to get diagnosed with the chronic fatigue syndrome, but that's how it works. But like I said, with the migraines, when you have the CMP examiner for migraines, it's what you state. Because the thing is how often do you get them? How bad do you get them? And when they're bad, how often or how bad do they get? So it says averaging 1 and 2 months, averaging once a month, or a bunch of times, depending on it is. If you have them weekly, you want to say that you got them weekly. If you get them every other week, you want to say that. If you get them once a month, you want to say that. You want to say how badly they get. Is it, hey, I need to turn off all the lights. I need to be in a dark place. I need to shut off sound, stuff like that. That you have to make sure to mention. How many times does that happen? Is it that, hey, I can't do shit? You need to say that. I need to turn off the lights. I need to lay down and do that. My wife got to take care of me when that shit happens. Everything else that happens in the house, my wife has to do because I am rendered useless. You need to make sure that's stated, because that's part of how they justify what your rating is. If you say I get migraines, 0%. You get them. It doesn't affect you that bad. It's not often you get them. You get migraines, stuff like that. But if you got medication for it and stuff like that, or you've taken shots for it, that's stuff that's on there. That's on your record. That's something that you can show. With mine, they were just like, I deal with migraines. And he looked it up. It was like, yeah, I'm on medication. He was like, do you take medication? I was like, yeah, I was on medication, but the one that the military was giving me was not working. So I decided to go through, what was it? Excedrin, I think, like extra strength, like migraine or some shit. And that sometimes kind of helped. And then he was like, oh, never mind. Because he searched it up and he saw that I was under the medication. And then he saw it was just like, oh, no, this is like migraine medication. This isn't like anything. This is migraine. Okay. And then he just asked me, how often do you get them? How bad do you get them? And how does it get when? And I explained that to him. Boom. I ended up with 50%. Because I've had it for some time through the military. It's just like a bunch of stuff. That's migraines and headaches. So that's number 9. So diagnostic code 8100. There you go when you're doing that. Because the thing is, you got to remember when you're going to these CMP exams, it's you have to explain your severity of what it is. How does it affect you? How does it limit you? How are you not able to function and do what you need to do because of this? Pain is not a big factor. Yes, everybody deals with pain, but my pain threshold and your pain threshold are two different thresholds, two different things. You could be real sensitive to stuff. I could be oblivious to it. And those are two different things. So that's why it's more, you have to make sure that you're reading the CFR, because most people think it's just like, look, I got back pain. My back is terrible. And they think they're going to get 100% for that. No, it doesn't work that way. They're going to go off of, yeah, you got back pain. How much does it limit you? How much can you bend? How flexion, rotation? That's how they get your rating. It's not off of pain. All veterans deal with pain, but all veterans don't deal with pain at the same level. So they can't contribute pain as one of those rating identifiers. It was like, yeah, you're in pain, but how does that pain affect you? Is it because of your back? Like, can you bend? I can't pick up my kids. Can't cut the grass, so I have to pay for somebody to come cut my grass, because pushing the damn lawnmower causes a lot of tension and it knocks me out for a couple of days because my back is just not giving. Like, stuff like that is stuff that you got to put. Jaguar, appreciate you stopping by, as always. Will they let you take your sleep meds? If you are doing, don't take anything. I think they tell you not to take any medication, but what I would say, Chandler, is I would ask them to verify. Because if you're taking sleep meds, that means you're taking something to help you sleep. So I would maybe say don't do that. So that way is just like, this is also contributing to it. Like, hey, maybe your sleep meds help you with your sleep apnea. Maybe they don't. Maybe you are getting better sleep because of the sleep meds, but it's not taking into account the sleep apnea because of it. So that's a question I would say to ask them prior, just like give them a call, be like, look, I do take medications and stuff like that. Am I not supposed to take medications, or am I? And most of the time they're going to tell you to take it. But if it's sleeping medication that helps you sleep and you're doing a sleep study, my suggestion, but I don't want you to take off of my suggestion. This is just my thought process on this. If you are getting a sleep study to see what your sleep apnea is, I wouldn't want anything that helps me sleep. I would want them to see how I am regularly without any medication, without anything, so that way they see it and it's like, you know what? I have sleep apnea. It might get better because of my medication, but then that's going to affect your sleep apnea rating. You see what I'm saying? That's my way of looking at it. Not saying that that's what you should do, shouldn't do. If you need to take it, you take it. Certain ones they're going to tell you take, like if it's blood pressure medication, you're going to take blood pressure medication. But if it's something that assists you with sleep and you're going to do a sleep study, my suggestion would be don't take it, because of the fact that it's just like, that's a sleeping aid. You don't want any sleeping aids. You want to be able to go through your sleep so that study is showing what you went through without any assistance. Because the thing is if you need a CPAP machine, you want it to show that you need that air being forced into you. If you have a sleeping aid and that shit helps you sleep and it helps you relax more, then you see what I'm saying? But it depends on how the sleep medication affects you and how it helps you or doesn't help you. So that's why it's just like, I would just suggest asking if you are supposed to take it. If not, my suggestion is just like, be your normal self without any medication or anything and try to sleep and get the study done. That's my suggestion. I would suggest you just looking into it and see what they tell you. See what it could be. See what it does. See what that medication actually does to you when you take it. Side effects, whatever it is, and just read it like that and then go from there and then make a decision off of how you feel. That's why I say I don't like giving people like specific. In those cases, I give my opinion, but that's just my way of thinking of it. Somebody else in chat might think differently. I don't know. I can't say yes or no on that, but that's something that is there. If it's sleep, medication, you about to get a sleep study, I wouldn't want anything to help me show what's going on with that I can actually sleep. I was just like, I want them to see that I can't sleep. I want them to visualize me not being able to sleep. I want them to see the effects of me not being able to sleep so that way it contributes to my disability rating. Okay, so now we are at number 10. Number 10 was hypertension. Hypertension. Cardiovascular, because it does fall under the cardiovascular rating. So let's go back. Hold on. So part B, part 4, scheduler ratings. Go to table of contents, and we can go to cardiovascular. The cardiovascular system. Here we go. We'll put this link in here for y'all to check out. And then we have it there. Okay, so from here, this is all the cardiovascular stuff that you check. If you have any heart conditions, any heart issues, this is something you want to check. Cardiovascular on the website. So you can go to the website and it has it there. Hypertension condition. It's pretty straightforward. With the hypertension one, it just basically diagnosis, describe the medical history. What was the veteran's initial diagnosis of hypertension or isolated systolic hypertension, confirmed by blood pressure readings taken 2 or more times on at least 3 different days? So this is what went bad at my appointment. Look, I'll tell you this. When it comes to hypertension, they ain't giving you much. You have to have like some abnormal readings for them to be like, oh shit, this shit is high. Vascular disease, pressure predominantly 130 or more. Pressure predominantly 120 or more. Pressure predominantly 110 or more, or systolic pressure predominantly 200 or more. So those are pretty high numbers. The thing is, they still gonna throw the medication at you. Even if your shit don't reach these levels. Even if your shit is at the lower level, they still gonna prescribe you blood pressure medication. And then that's what it is. And then it just keeps on going. Different ones, aneurysm, or arterial disease, the Berger's disease, Raynaud syndrome. This is all dealing with varicose veins, which a lot of people. Yeah, and that's what they'll say. 160 once wasn't bad. You have to show that you are consistently dealing with that. You have to show that you're consistently doing it. Because the thing is you can go like, the reason that you have to show that it's done more than once is because of the fact that it's just like, you just might be fucking nervous, or you might have gone through something and your blood pressure might be high as shit that one day. That one day, your shit is like through the roof. Why am I not seeing those messages? Why didn't I see that message? Interesting. I'm not seeing all the messages. So please, forgive me if y'all were asking questions and I did not see the questions. Because I'm just noticing I'm not seeing all the messages from both the chats. Because Chandler just said, yes, meds don't help, but I will ask. I was like, I don't see that message on my screen for some reason. Interesting. But yeah, that's one of the things that we need to pay attention to. That's one of the underlying things. Okay, now it popped up. It was just a bit slow. While on active duty. Well, the thing that bothers me the most about when it comes to blood pressure medication is the fact that, how can I put this? When you go get your blood pressure taken, when that shit is high, what do they do? Hey, bro, we're going to let you sit for a bit. We gonna let you sit for a bit. Well, you know what? I'm gonna hold your arm up and I'm gonna take the fucking reading. I was like, thanks for the break. Hey, Fire, appreciate you stopping by. See you next week. That day at her office, it went 170 and 160 in both arms. Yeah, that one day. But if you don't go, most of the time, what they'll do is they'll be like, hey, we need you to come back 5 days straight to take VP. And that's what happened with me. And that's how I got put on medication because my blood pressure was high one day. They were just like, all right, this shit is crazy. You having a rough day? Cool. We're going to have you come back the next 5 days and we're going to take your info and we're going to schedule you out and see how it is. Did that. My shit was still pretty high. It wasn't that high, but it was still elevated for those 5 consecutive days. And then they put me on blood pressure medication. And my shit has been upped a couple of times. But that's something that is just like, you gotta pay attention to. But like I said, most of the time, they're like, what they gonna give you? 10% for that? That's 10%. Nothing crazy, 10%. But if it keeps getting worse and stuff like that, that's how you file for increases. But the thing is the whole purpose of you getting that medication is to make sure it doesn't continue to go higher. So that's why it's like, it's difficult because everybody can claim hypertension because yes, you do deal with high blood pressure because it is aggravated by stress or it is service conditions. It could be you have a PTSD moment and that should get it going. Yeah, it takes, because that's the thing most of the time. And that's the one thing when you notice is like they'll ask you and they'll take your blood pressure. When your shit is high, they'll retake it again. But what bothers me is that they never put that first reading on there. They don't put the first reading because you mean to tell me you took this first reading of my blood pressure and my blood pressure was high as shit, but you waited instead of putting that on there, it's just like, hey, first reading. Then we did a second reading and it was lower because he calmed down. No, they're just going to put the second one. That's the one part that always bothered me because it's just like, that was still my blood pressure. My blood pressure was still through the roof. Y'all put it on there, but all of a sudden it's just like, you know what? Yeah, if you're on meds, you're on there. If you're on meds, hey, that's ED right there. That's filing for ED. If you're on blood pressure medication, that affects it affects ED. Causes erectile dysfunction. Depending on what medication you have and stuff like that, that's always one that always goes in there. And that's a claim that you file. And once they see that you have blood pressure medication or other medications, it's almost an automatic. Kind of like tinnitus. But tinnitus, you have to show something happened that caused the tinnitus. Because tinnitus is one of those that you can't read and you can't establish. So that's one thing you got to pay attention to. But those are the top 10. So what we went over today is, for the workshop, we went over the top 10 most commonly claimed disabilities by veterans. The top 10 being number 1, tinnitus, number 2, hearing loss, number 3, knee and joint conditions, number 4, PTSD, number 5, scarring and skin conditions, number 6, back and neck pain, number 7, sleep apnea, number 8, ankle and foot conditions, number 9, migraines and headaches, and number 10, hypertension. We went through the whole list. We went through the CFR just to make sure people were aware and they visualized where these ratings are coming from, where the information is that you will obtain to be able to see what possible ratings you can. Do you want to file for an increase? Can I get an increase? Am I going to file this? And is the information going to show that my increase goes along with what I'm filing? Am I going to get an increase? Am I going to file for an increase, but there's no other percentage to get? So now you just went through a whole CMP exam and all that, and your claim didn't change. So you have to make sure you're looking at the CFR, make sure you're looking at it to show, okay, these are the possible increases I may obtain, and there's nothing I can obtain here. Or, hey, you know what? I didn't realize I can file for this also. Those are all different things that you need to keep in mind and put together so that way it's a visual, you see it, you can file the claim, you know what percentage you can get, so that way you're not giving yourself more anxiety or stressing yourself out more on the back end when, hey, you filed for a knee condition and you thought you were getting 100%, knowing that the most you could get is 30. That's a big swing. But hey, knowing that you could get that 30 is at least a 30 you know you got. But remember, even though you can do everything correctly, there's still a chance that the VA might fuck it up. If the VA fucks it up, keep that in mind. Don't just take it as, you know what, a L. We're veterans. We served in the military. We know how to take a L and keep it moving. Here's where we stop that mentality. This is where I got an L on this service connection. Now we fighting this shit because I know this shit happened in service. We don't take the L no more. We keep on fighting for it. If you have the documentation, you have the justification, you keep fighting for it. Because sometimes you may be dealing with a shitbag that didn't want to do their job that day and decided just to deny your shit. And then you're going to deal with that high speed. They'll be like, you know what? This person got, okay, cool. Check. Yep, that's 50%. Oh, that's 30%. Oh, that's there. You want to look at it that way. Make sure you are taking care of yourself. You are your best resource. You are the best identifiable information. You know what you deal with. You forget half of what you deal with. And that half part that you forget is stuff that you need to write down. Like I said, start that I Hurt Me book. Write all this shit down, write stuff so that, hey, if you got a CMP exam, you have all this stuff there. And you can just take that shit with you. You can take a notebook with you and be like, look, these are the issues I deal with. This is the instance of this. This is the instance of that. This is so that way you can paint a picture for that VA rater, that CMP examiner, showing them exactly what you deal with, how it affects you, and how it is. Because most of the time when you up in that seat, you get frozen and you just say what you first comes to your head and you forget all the other half of the stuff that could have assisted your claim. Make sure you're taking care of yourself. Make sure you're getting medication. You don't got to take it. But if they prescribe you medication, it's part of the system. They want to make sure you have it. Ain't hell no way I'm taking all these pills every single day. It was just like sometimes when the pain is bad, take the shit. If it's tolerable, you don't have to. Don't get yourself stuck on 3,000 different pills that you look like you opening up a damn pharmacy when you go to the damn doctor. Or when you opening up your pantry, you got a damn pharmaceutical thing that you can start like, you start making your own little baggies and stamping it like, yeah, no, you don't got to do all that. But take care of yourself. Look out for yourself. Find different resources. There is pills. There's always going to be a pill for everything. Are there other holistic ways? Are there natural ways? Try it that way and maybe those may help. Maybe they don't. Maybe your issue is just that bad. It happens. But don't get stuck on this whole medication thing because some of these medications be throwing you off completely. And it sucks. And it's not assisting you. But it's part of your claim. It's part of what you need to make sure you're putting in there. Those are things you need to keep in mind. But yeah. That's all I got for today's workshop. Like I said, we do these every Sunday, 12 noon. We do this workshop every Sunday, 12 noon. No matter what's going on, 12 noon. If you have questions, if you have something that you thought of or something popped up, make sure to go and put a comment in on this video so that I know that I can reference it so I know to answer you maybe the next time. Yeah, acupuncture, stuff like that. That's all available to you. You can request stuff like that. Most veterans don't know they can though. That's stuff you can request. That's all information there. There's a ton of benefits. Like here, look, most of the time we will deal with the Code of Federal Regulations, M21-1, or stuff to deal with disability claims. But when it comes to education benefits, property tax exemptions, other exemptions, don't hesitate to ask those also, because the most important thing is you being taken care of, but it's also knowing all the available features and benefits and entitlements that are afforded to you because you serve this country. It's not only just a monthly compensation. Yes, that's great, But when you can get stipends, you can get free school, you can get VA home loan stuff, you can get massages, you can get all that stuff, and that's paid through by the VA because you did what you did for this country and you sacrificed. Now on the back end, they taking care of you. We just got to be better at learning what these benefits are. That's all. But like I said, every Sunday, if you got more suggestions, or hey, even if you got suggestions for the Veteran Awareness Project website, send them to me. Contact, email, let me know what you think, stuff like that, so we can start preparing and doing better stuff with that. As always, be good to one another, take care of one another, look out for one another, love one another, and be marvelous while doing it, y'all. This is the Veteran Awareness Project workshop. I'm just Cruz. I appreciate y'all. We will do one of these sometime throughout the week. I'm not sure. I can't specify. Make sure you like, make sure to subscribe, make sure to leave your notifications on so that when I do go live, it does pop up. If you got questions, like I said, start writing them down. Start writing them down and bring them back over here so we can get you an answer, find you what you need to do, and we can do it that way. Annette, thank you as always for being here. Thank you for being a supporter. And also, when it comes to these workshops, the workshops are only up for like about a month. Then from there, if you want access to them to go back, you will have to become a member. Membership is only $1 a day, $1 a month. That's all it is to become a member of the channel, $1 a month. I don't even make the full dollar, but that will give you access to all the member videos, just $1 a month. And the way I see it is, look, if I was able to get you a higher rating, whether it's 10%, 20%, $1 a month is not going to hurt you to be able to find more information. But as always, appreciate y'all. We'll keep doing this, keep assisting veterans, keep taking care of veterans. Send me suggestions, comments, whatever it is. I appreciate y'all. Y'all take care. Cruz signing out. Peace.